The new Star Wars Jedi Survivor trailer came out last night. I already did a full breakdown. If you missed it, I'll put that in the cards. I spent a lot of my time talking about the character in the Bacta tank that I think will be the primary villain, but I also speculated about one of his apparent henchmen, this large alien. I threw out the idea that he could be a Gendai, and the more I think about it, the more I really want that to be true, because I think the species would make for an amazing boss fight. If you've never heard of the Gendai, look no further than the bounty hunter Durge, who was introduced in the Clone Wars multimedia project that included the comics, the Tartakovsky microseries, and more. He was at least 2,000 years old at that point in the timeline, and like the rest of his people, he was nearly indestructible. They were a boneless species made up of a shifting bundle of muscles and nerves. They often wore armor to help them keep a humanoid shape. They didn't have any vital organs, and they could easily survive even the most extreme injuries, able to regrow lost limbs in a matter of minutes. They had near instantaneous reflexes and heightened senses. In the Legends, Clone Wars microseries and comics, Durge was shown to be very capable against the Jedi, killing several members of the Order and surviving multiple encounters with Obi-Wan Kenobi. He suffered from age-related psychosis that was common in the Gendai since they lived for thousands of years. All we can see of the new character in Star Wars Jedi Survivor is his head and face, which matches Wikipedia's description of a Gendai, typically bald with 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth full of razor-sharp teeth, and he appears to be wearing a large set of armor as well. So, if I'm right, and he is a Gendai, we are being set up to fight a completely terrifying foe. So, how do we have any hope of defeating him? Well, Durge was killed after Anakin Skywalker forced him into an escape pod and then used the Force to guide it into a star. The only other known method of defeating a Gendai was destroying their brain, the one piece of their body that couldn't be regenerated. I should also point out that Durge has appeared in 2 issues of the canon Dr. Aphra comics, where he was not killed but was defeated by using the tried and true method from the Alien films. He was launched out of an airlock and left to drift through space, but I am positive we have not seen the last of him. So again, if I'm right about this, I think this could be one of the most interesting boss fights we have ever experienced in a Star Wars video game. Technically, you can fight and defeat a Gendai in the Old Republic game, but he doesn't seem to live up to his species' reputation as hard to kill, and that's a different style of game combat. I'm psyched to potentially battle a Gendai using the Star Wars Jedi combat system, and I'm hopeful that we'll have to find a creative way to win. I could see him being a boss that we encounter throughout the game, similar to the second sister in Fallen Order. We have to fight and escape her multiple times. In Survivor, maybe we would keep having to fight him, and we could damage his armor more and more until our final battle where he's just a mass of muscles and tendrils, and then we have to find a way to use the environment to finally kill him. Or there's always the old airlock method, but I'm hopeful the final fight will be more creative. No matter what, I am so happy to see the game developers potentially pulling from deeper into Star Wars for this game. There are so many interesting enemy types throughout the trailer that got me hyped up, and this new character is just one of them. My head is swimming with possibilities of the fun we're all gonna have in just over 3 months. Which enemy types are you most excited for in Star Wars Jedi Survivor? Do you think this character is a Gendai? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel to keep up with all our Survivor coverage, follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.